This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for May 21, 2023. And in the news this evening, driver rushed to hospital after shooting in Huenden. A motorist has been hospitalized following a shooting incident in Huenden off Malines Road in St. Andrew on Sunday afternoon. The circumstances surrounding the incident are still unclear, but police have confirmed that the driver of a white BMW motorcar was shot and injured and had to be rushed to hospital. The incident occurred about 1:30 p.m. The police were processing the scene up to publication time. JDF Coast Guard arrested 4 Nicaraguans ganja seized. There was a major seizure of compressed ganja off the coast of Jamaica on Friday. Members of the Jamaica Defensive Force Coast Guard also arrested 4 Nicaraguan nationals in a boat intercepted about 11 nautical miles from Cabarita Point, Westmoreland. On Friday at 11:57 p.m., members of the JDF Coast Guard, acting on intelligence from the Narcotics Division, intercepted a blue and white 28-foot Edwardona fishing boat with one Yamaha 75 HP engine. The vessel was boarded and the 4 men, who later identified themselves as Nicaraguan nationals, were found on board. During a search of the vessel, 3 knitted bags containing a total of 27 parcels and 3 irregular parcels, each with a compressed ganja, were seized. Also found on board were 7 plastic containers of marine diesel fuel and an unattached 40 HP Yamaha engine. The boat was towed to the JDF Coast Guard base in Black River, where it, along with the contents, was processed by members of the Scene of Crime Area 3. The men have not yet been charged and as such have not been publicly identified. Second person dies following shooting in downtown Mobay. A second person has succumbed to injuries received during Saturday's gun attack on a taxi in downtown Montego Bay, St. James. He has been identified as a 26-year-old Lion Gooden. The taxi driver, 31-year-old Ramon McFarlane, had been pronounced dead on arrival at hospital on Saturday. It is reported that about 3:30 p.m., the driver of a Toyota Probox motorcar and a male passenger were traveling along Harbor Street when they were ambushed at the Union Street intersection by armed men in another car. The gunmen opened fire, hitting both the driver and the passenger. The attack took place despite the parish being under a state of public emergency since Thursday. NWC announces prohibition order to limit water usage. The National Water Commission is implementing a prohibition order to prevent the use of potable water for non-essential purposes effective May 26. In a notice published on Sunday, the NWC said more stringent water conservation measures must now be observed due to a shortage of water resulting from the drought-affecting sections of Jamaica. The order bans persons in all areas of the island supplied by drought-affected systems from watering of gardens, lawns, grounds, and farms, refilling of tanks, ponds, or swimming pools, and or for use other than normal domestic services, washing of vehicles by the use of a hose, watering or washing roadways, pavements, paths, garages, any purpose which may require the use of a considerable or excessive quantity of water. Under the order, it is now a prosecutable offense to either waste the water or to use excessive amounts of the commodity for non-essential purposes. Persons who breach the order could be fined or imprisoned for up to 30 days. JPS infrastructure to be covered under cybercrimes law. Persons who modify, access, intercept, obstruct, interrupt, or impair the computers, program, data, or communications system of the Jamaica Public Service without authorization under the Cybercrimes Act could find themselves in trouble with the law. The JPS, in its submission to the Joint Select Committee considering the Electricity Act 2015, had asked lawmakers to consider extending the provisions of the legislation to hacking into the electricity infrastructure through any point, including meters. In its submission, the JPS said it wanted this breach to be explicitly made a criminal offense under the Electricity Act. Further, JPS said that consideration should also be given to expressly including smart meters and other associated electricity communication systems under the definition of computers in the Cybercrimes Act. Kadeen Campbell, Senior Legal Officer in the Ministry of Science, Technology and Energy, told the Joint Select Committee reviewing the Electricity Act 2015 on Thursday that there was no need to include the concerns of the JPS in the Electricity Act, as provisions in the proposed new cybercrimes law had already addressed those issues. She made it clear that the JPS infrastructure would be covered under the new cybercrimes law, and the committee also discussed Section 28 of the proposed new Electricity Act that deals with the offense of cutting electricity lines. In its submission, the Office of Utilities Regulation said that because of the very specific definition of supply in the legislation, its use in Section 28 seems to exclude an intent to disrupt the transmission or disruption of electricity from the offense. Campbell told lawmakers that the regulatory body recommended that a provision be inserted to reflect that the intent to disrupt any transmission, distribution, or supply of electricity should be made an offense. The OUR's recommendation was accepted by the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology. The ministry has also accepted a recommendation that any person who incites another person to interrupt the supply, distribution and the transmission of electricity commits an offense. On another matter, Campbell pointed out that current policy requires the retention of the JPS as the single buyer, noting that the terms of the license granted to the Light and the Power Company will be upheld. She explained that one of the terms of the contract grants exclusivity to JPS in relation to transmission, distribution, and the supply of electricity. The senior legal officer told the committee that the government is constrained at this time to grant a license to any other person in relation to distribution, transmission, and the supply. It might very well be that any further consideration may be appropriate to be taken at a future review because the license will expire soon, she explained. The license to JPS has already been agreed, therefore, any departure from that would require serious consideration or may result in legal or other risk, she added. Government committed to protecting workers' rights, says Minister Grange. The government is committed to protecting the rights of workers, including ensuring that they have proper salaries, improved working conditions, and increased benefits. This was stated by the Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, while addressing the 2023 National Workers' Week and the Labor Day Thanksgiving service at the Church of the Open Bible, Washington Boulevard, St. Andrew on Sunday. She said that significant progress has been made through the workforce in both the public and the private sectors to secure peace, social equity, economic independence, prosperity, and personal fulfillment for all Jamaicans. Today, once again, we pay tribute to our workers who continue to display resilience and determination throughout the year, and those whose daily sacrifices contributed significantly to the economic stability in our communities and in our beloved country, Grange stated. She urged the Jamaicans to participate in the range of activities that have been planned for Labor Day on Tuesday, May 23. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.